Welcome to Crime Chronicles. Here, I'll tell you real stories about murder cases, strange historical events, haunted places, and all those stories that make you wonder, what is going on with people? Why are these stories so bizarre? Some of these episodes may include disturbing events or violent details, so please check the description to make sure this episode is suitable for you. I want to thank you all for every listen, rating, and comment. Now, let's begin today's story, Mary Bell, the Little Killer. As always, our story today has a criminal and a victim. But what makes this case different is that the criminal was a child, only 11 years old. So what could possibly drive a little girl to commit a series of murders? Criminal children don't just appear out of nowhere. In my opinion, this story has another culprit, someone whose crimes were far greater than Mary's, but who was never charged or punished. Let's go back to the summer of 1968, in a dark, decaying neighborhood in Newcastle, England. It was filled with abandoned buildings where children often played unsupervised. In one of those buildings, 3 kids stumbled upon the lifeless body of 4-year-old Martin Brown. Terrified, they ran to get help and found a construction worker nearby. He rushed over and found Martin's body surrounded by pills, with some foam and a little blood around his mouth. But strangely, there were no obvious signs of violence. The worker tried resuscitating him, while 2 young girls stood watching. Those girls were Mary Bell and Norma Bell. The man told them to leave, thinking he was protecting them from something too awful to see. What he didn't know was far more disturbing. Mary Bell's life didn't start easy. Born in 1957, her mother, Elizabeth, was just 17 and already working as a sex worker. Mary's biological father was unknown. From the moment Mary was born, she was unwanted. Elizabeth reportedly told the nurses to take that thing away from me. Her childhood was marked by abuse, neglect, and constant danger. Family members suspected Elizabeth tried multiple times to kill her daughter. Mary was hospitalized several times after accidental overdoses of pills. She even fell from a first-floor window at 3 years old. Many believed Elizabeth had pushed her. As Mary grew, the abuse worsened. She was allegedly forced to witness and even participate in situations no child should ever face. On top of that, her mother often abandoned her and her siblings for weeks at a time, leaving them to fend for themselves. Not surprisingly, Mary grew up aggressive and violent toward other kids. Her favorite games included choking them or stuffing sand into their mouths. She only had one friend, Norma Bell, a 13-year-old with learning difficulties. Though they weren't related, they shared the same last name and a tendency toward violent behavior, but Mary was always the leader. On May 11, 1968, a 3-year-old boy was found wandering with a deep cut on his head. He told adults he'd been playing with Mary and Norma when he fell from a building. It was written off as an accident. But the very next day, things escalated. Parents reported that Mary and Norma had attacked 3 young girls and tried to strangle them. Police questioned the girls, but because of their age, they were released with only a warning. Then came May 25, 1968, the day before Mary's 11th birthday. Mary and Norma lured Martin Brown into an abandoned house. There, Mary strangled him to death while Norma watched. Hours later, the construction worker discovered the body, unaware that the killers had been right there. The next day, Mary and Norma broke into a nursery school and vandalized it. On the walls, they scrawled disturbing graffiti, including one that said, "We killed Martin Brown." But police dismissed it as a childish prank. In late July, another tragedy struck. 3-year-old Brian Ho disappeared while playing outside. That night, his body was found strangled in a nearby wasteland. His hair had been cut, and the letter M had been carved in his stomach. Investigators quickly realized the killer was likely a child, given the marks and lack of strength in the attack. When they questioned local kids, Mary and Norma both admitted seeing Brian that day, but Mary suspiciously mentioned details that hadn't been made public, like the scissors used in the crime. Soon after, Norma confessed. She told police Mary had strangled Brian in front of her and even led officers to hidden evidence. By early August, both girls were arrested. While Norma broke down in tears, Mary remained cold and emotionless. When questioned, she calmly claimed, "This is all normal to me." During trial, psychological experts described Mary as suffering from psychopathy, a lack of empathy, emotional response, or remorse. Norma, on the other hand, was considered intellectually delayed and easily influenced. In December 1968, Mary Bell was convicted of manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. Norma was acquitted, but placed under supervision. Mary spent 11 years in custody, escaped once in 1977, but was recaptured. Finally, in 1980, at the age of 23, she was released and given a new identity to protect her from the public attention. Years later, she had a daughter of her own who didn't know her mother's past until the media uncovered it. The case of Mary Bell raises difficult moral and legal questions. How should society treat children who commit murder? Do we hold them to the same standard as adults? Are they victims of their circumstances or dangerous individuals in their own right? Mary herself later admitted she never fully understood the permanence of death at the time. To her, it wasn't real until it was too late. Whatever the answer, her crimes remain among the most chilling in Britain's history, proof that sometimes evil can wear the face of a child. That was today's story, and as I mentioned, this is the final episode of Season 1. But don't worry, we'll be back with a brand new season this August, with weekly episodes full of strange and shocking stories that will definitely make you say, "What's going on here?" So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and if you have real stories you'd like to recommend, send them through our page.